Welcome everyone back to my channel, and as you can tell, we're back to basics today, and we are doing the electrical outlets. Today in the video, I'm going to show you how to go from these old electrical outlets to the newer ones, which no doubt if you check these in your house, they got coats and coats of paint on them. I'm going to show you how to go from these old style outlets to these new square modern outlets. Let's do it. The first thing we're going to need, let's get our star screwdriver, our flathead screwdriver, our needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and in my next drawer here, I need a new plate for my switch. And this right here to test the power to make sure everything's done properly, but guys, I'll show you that later. And if you don't remember anything else from this video, if you're attempting this yourself, which is super easy, guys, realistically, it's super easy, do not forget to shut your power off. So now let me show you what this is for. This is a nifty little gadget, and all the instructions are right on the little gadget here. So when I plug this in, before I shut my power off, like I mentioned, coats, not coats of paint, but definitely paint, even on mine. So as you can see right here, there's little markings on this gadget that we have, and there's two lights, which means, as you can see, that it is correct. This is what I want to see after my outlet's been changed. I want to see correct. So now next, like I said, not to forget the power. Time to turn the power off. So I'd like to take a moment. I want to show you guys, right behind here is the electrical box. I thought it was a great idea because it was hard to paint or even build a square box around it. So I just hung one of my daughter's beautiful paintings beyond here. So check her out on Instagram, DITA period DID. Did. She's an artist, graduated, living in British Columbia, and this is one of her pieces. So behind here, let's see. There you have it. I showed you guys in a previous video. This was very difficult to even think about putting something over this, so hence why the picture worked out well here. So first thing we're going to do, our electrical box, is find the garage. Guys, this is really funny, unless you're the original owner, but clearly not the original owner of this place. This is what you get. It's been gone through several owners. You can barely read it. So from what I'm looking at here, front garage plugs, number 24 it looks like. Let's just see when I shut this one off that these green lights go off. Yes! Time to remove our plate. So as you can see right here, we've got a screw on the top and one on the bottom here. It actually holds the outlet into place here. And not only is there normally a lot of paint on these old ones all around the plug-in here, but even on the screws, which makes things a little longer to take out. Now that the screws are out, guys, give it a little pull, because realistically, these wires are jammed into this wall. So if you pull on it just a little, it'll come right out. There you go, just like that. You got lots of wires. So if you have a look right here, guys, you can see your positive, your two whites are your positive. On the other end right here, it's your two negative, and your ground wire, which is right here, is connected right at the very bottom. And I just noticed in this outlet, I don't need the star, I need the square, so it's either or. Regardless, when you go to take your screws out, right here, these screws will not come all the way out. After you unscrew it a little, it just stops. So all you do is just unhook A little tricky, just on up your positives, then your negatives. And another thing I'd like to mention, if your negatives are on the right side, keep them on your right side. Positives on my left side, so they'll be going back on my left side. And that's what's great about this little tool right here. If I were to mix them up, it would let me know. So there's my outlet. Now what I'm going to do is bring all my negatives over to the right, just the way they were connected. Keep the positives over here, my ground. This is exactly how I'm going to reconnect it. Now to get my new outlet. I know some of you might be thinking, Blondie, why would we need the needle nose pliers? I want to show you. Luckily, all of these wires right here have like a hook on the end. Now I straightened this one out to show you. If they came off straight like so, all I would do then is take my needle nose pliers and make a little hook. So when I have a look at my new outlet here, the ground is always on the bottom. And normally, and also in this case, the ground on this one is a different color. It's a light green. That is where my ground is going to go. So as you can see right here, I have it hooked on directly the way it came off, because if I were to put it on the other side, and it would be a little more difficult, no doubt, if I were to put it on the other side, as you go to screw in and tighten up your wire onto your screw here, the little hook right here would open and not tighten. So trust me on this one. Put it in the same direction as you screw in the screw. Not crazy tight, guys, just tight enough to hold that on there. You also want to make sure that the top of that wire stays underneath your screw for a perfect connection. I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, this literally takes about 15 minutes to change out one of these. And what a big difference. Wow, I've got to say, this is hard on the knees. I should almost have some kind of cushioning, but this will only take another minute. So now the next thing we're going to do is connect our negative. There we go. We'll just tighten this one. So guys, as you can see right here, I'm just pulling down on the wire. So when I screw this in, it sits snug in underneath that screw. Just like that. Perfect. And that is our second negative. You can see clearly that these ones are on there snug and just like when I took them off. And one thing you want to double check, as you can see here, the wires are not touching each other on either side. There we go. Now to get the ground. I like to apply just a little bit of pressure right here, just so that while I'm screwing this in, there you go, nice and snug and totally around that screw. Now what we're going to do is put everything back. Yeah, it's that easy. We're going to tuck and push it all the way in. Try to line it up so that your screws will go right in the holes that your other ones just came out of. I really gotta say right now, this is the trickiest part. Can you believe that? Let me try the bottom one. I figured I'd try the bottom first. The top part was being a little finicky, so I think it will actually. There, so I haven't put the bottom one all the way in. I'm gonna line up my top one next. That totally worked. The top one was giving me a little bit of trouble, so I put the bottom one halfway in, and now the top one is lining up perfectly. So I'm going to put the top one all the way in, and then I'll finish tightening up the bottom. So as you can tell, the outlet is a little crooked, but there's room for play right here. If I just push it this way, a little more up straight, because it was leaning this way. If I push it a little more this way, that will totally straighten up this outlet. Perfect. So realistically, if I had to do this without filming, this would take me not even 5 minutes. So the next step we're going to do is I already have my plate for my outlet. I'm going to plug this in, switch on the power, and hopefully we'll see those little 2 green lights like we did in the beginning. And now to turn on the power. Yes! Awesome. So now to unplug our little gadget here and put our plate on. One thing I want to mention right now before you even start this, be careful not to put it on too tight, because if you put it on too tight, guys, how amazing does that look? This is a great upgrade. And like I said, only $2 for your outlet. Don't go too tight, just enough to hold it in place. That is all. You will crack your plate. There you have it. I absolutely love this. What a difference to a room to do them all. Don't forget your switch plates for your lights as well. So as you can see right here, I have 7 of the outlets that's been replaced. One of the light switches as well, don't forget those. So we have a place in my city called Habitat for Humanity. So they will be going there. Hopefully someone can get them and use them, because realistically you can use them in a shed. You don't need these brand new modern looking outlets for a shed or any kind of place like that. So that's where these will be going. So that will be it for today. Back to basics. Thanks for joining me. And I hope you learned something. Thought it would be a great little video for one of my back to basics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.